jumping in and out. That trouble last night. Okay. Are you coming, Jen? Good evening, everybody. Have we all had dinner? Are we all settled? Are the dishes done? Is the dishwasher full? Is it empty? We had takeaway. But Mum and Dad were here as well, so it was really, really nice. You know what? It's 7:30 on a Thursday night. What are we all doing here? I don't know. Anyway, good evening. Who's here? Who's here? First of all, Wendy, good evening. You are the first name that's come up. Good evening, Lynn. Good evening. Oh, good morning, Fiona. Good morning to you. Hope you have a fabulous day. We're on the end of Thursday. I can tell you from this end, it wasn't a bad day. It was a good Thursday, so you've got a lot to look forward to. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Catherine. Lovely to see you. And Catherine says hello, everybody. It's very romper room, isn't it? Hello, Michelle. Hello, Francis. Good evening, Carol. How are you? Hello, Anne. Merle, lovely to see you this evening. Judy, it's very nice. And good evening to everyone from Jude. Marie's here as well this evening. Catherine's still eating the risotto. Good for you. Did you make it yourself? You know, I admire someone that takes on a risotto on a Thursday night. I really do. Hello, everyone from Lynn. Donna as well from the UK. Well, hello to you. Oh, I overlapped. Am I doing it again today? I am, aren't I? Am I overlapping with Natasha again? No, it's Thursday. Did yesterday. Felt really bad, but finished our show and then went and watched hers straight afterwards. Good evening from Lorraine. Good evening from Denise. Hello, Janet. Marie, takeaway for you too. Excellent. Nancy Cook, thank you very much. I'll talk about this in a minute. You haven't got the pattern. I'm working on it. I'll tell you a little about it in a minute. But I have pulled it out to revisit and go back to and do it again. Pat, I don't know what you're feeding that man, but he's doing the dishes, so it must be good. Good evening, Jenny. Good evening, Julie. Good evening. Sue's here. Hi, how are you? Ladies and gents, Sue's assuming we have gents watching, and you're absolutely right, we do. I have to... you to see me kicking Emma under the table, going, it's not just the girls on Tuesday, the guys are here too. Oh, Jolene's here. What? Kathy, good evening, Lisa. Sorry I missed last night's show. Yeah, we missed you too, Kath. Where were you? Where did you go? I said last night. It was a great show. Oh, you love the decorations. I've got extras for you tonight. Really, really nice ones. Catherine is here as well, so that's really good. And Marie's saying hi. Okay, I've got it. Sunny day here today. You've got potential snow showers. Well, you know, that's because you live up there. It's going to happen. Rosemary's here from a very soggy, so you did get a lot of rain in the ACT. Is that absolutely right, Rosemary? I thought you might. Okay, so I'm going to... Let's get started, hey? Because if we get this done, I'm going to inspire you. My objective tonight is to keep you awake tonight thinking about Christmas and things that you could do. That's what I wanted to do. Last night it was the prosciutto. Tonight it's the Vietnamese. I'm thirsty. There's no gin in the squash. However, what I'm going to show you first of all just happens to have a lot to do with gin. So, this is really, really left field. No sewing. But I want to share a little recipe with you that probably should be on a craft and cook show on YouTube, which we haven't filmed for about 4 or 5 months now. And we keep saying every day that we're going to. Oh, Joy says it's a fine day where she is. That's good. Kathy, you and your hot dates. Oh no, it was me having the hot date last time, wasn't it? I'm going to have to give Rob my phone because he says he fixed it and it wouldn't jump in and out of internet, but it's... As long as you can see me, that's all that matters, because my phone doesn't like me at all. So, alright, now let's just get started. I'll just fix this screen up over here so I can at least see you. There we go. You can have this. It's still doing it. Ta. So, we're doing a recipe first. You've got your pen and paper. Really important. I will pop it up on A Quilter's Life as usual for my members of my online club. But it's not a cake. I'm not going to make a mess and cook in front of you with electric beaters or anything. This is my spiced Christmas potpourri recipe. So we're going to do the little bit of a domestic goddess thing and go back to when we used to make potpourri. But I can't do roses and sweet smelling things for potpourri, and this recipe was developed after I bought one. Heavens, I must have been about 13 or 14 from Toad Hall, which was a beautiful 2-story wooden house gift shop in Pambula, in the southeast coast of New South Wales, and I played with it for years and years. So I wanted to share it with you because it's a beautiful smelling thing that is lovely to have right through the house. So it's really nice in the kitchen. You can burn it over an essential oil burner and it will fill the house with a beautiful smell that's a lot like a cooking smell because of what's in it. So it's spices. It's really nice to hang in wardrobes with linen and everything, but it's not going to make you sneeze, and it's not pretty, floral pretty. Can I have my phone back soon? So I want to share it with you, and I've got all the ingredients here. So I think I'll go to the, let's go to this one first and show you this. So can you see, just before the show, I actually got this done. This is, I've got some of the ingredients that you're going to be able to grab from me if you want to, and I've also got other ones that you're going to be able to do yourself. So this is the first thing that actually goes in, which is dried orange peel. And it's a really simple thing to do. You're not going to have much waste because you're going to be able to juice the oranges, use the juice in a cake, whatever else you want to do. You know how you have some left over sometimes. So I've dried it for about half an hour on 120 degrees in the oven. Now, it smells really nice now, but over time the smell actually develops because I've got it to the point where it's almost completely dried out, but it's probably got a little bit to go. But you sort of want it till it's just hard, and it will all crinkle up for you. I had a couple of oranges here tonight that were getting a little bit on the old side, is the only way to put it. So I've probably got a little bit too much pith on the back of mine. The less pith that you've got, the better. But see how it all curls up when it cooks? It's really, really cute. So that is going in my mixing bowl. Are you there, Rob? No factor. Thank you. I feel a bit blind without it. Did you fix that? Hello? Oh, he's gone. Okay, so, the bowl. Oh, I know, Marie, the bowls are old. The bowls are old. Okay, so let's have a look what's going to go in. Oh, there we go. So, in here, we're going to pop all of our orange, and then I've got some cypress. So, I went and raided the hedge about 5 houses down. Well, it's getting long. Okay, so they need to prune their hedge anyway, so it's a perfect time of year to do it. And if you don't have one and you're really dedicated, go and buy yourself a cypress bush. See, the colour's going to be gorgeous in with the orange. So you buy yourself a cypress bush, and then you don't need to take all of it off. But I'll actually go through. Actually, just go through and pull these off. You can see my tree. I've got lots of decorations on there to show you. So I just break all of this up. I sort of want pieces that are, you know, about that big. Because I want it to look really nice as well, because we're going to pop it in something tonight, but also someone might like to get it and pop it out in a bowl. So if I hold that up for you there, you can see that that's all gone in there. Pop that down. I don't have an overhead camera at the moment. I'm not sure why I don't have one, but we'll fix that up in a minute. Right, so that's all in. Now, next thing that's going to go in is mixed spice. This is where it starts to become a bit on the pricey side. So I actually went and bought for us some wholesale spices, and they're actually on the website. I don't even know which sections. Steve?
Yeah.
Which section did you put the spices in? Giftware? Where did you put them?
I didn't know.
So where are they?
They're tagged on the Xmas tag.
Yeah.
But
they're just floating in cyberspace.
They didn't have a home.
They didn't have a home. So click on the banner at the top of the website and you will find them. So the first thing that I have got for us, a really, really, really good price, is a big bag of mixed spice that I want you to pop in. So there you go. Big bag, ready to go. So we're going to open this up, and I've got in here, so these are 70 grams, and I want to put in probably half of this. This is a ridiculous thing doing this tonight. Yeah, Rob, how come I don't have an overhead? What happened?
Said not to turn it on until later.
Okay, well I never turned it on. So the power of television, you can pop that on while I'm showing you girls. So we're just going to sprinkle about half of that in. It really is one of those things that, you know, I can say pop in half the bag, and I'm going to, you know, you're going to have time to work out how much you want, and you can add extra if you're not happy with it. There you go. Thanks. So we'll mix that through, and it just, you know, look at that. It just starts to, what did they say on those reality TVs? It smells wonderful, and you sit there and you go, of course you're going to say it smells wonderful, because I can't smell it. All right, second thing, when you go to the supermarket, and I know this is true, when you buy clothes, we buy them in those little packets. And you'd know more than me, I forget how much they are. I think they are, I don't know what, about $3 for a piddly little bag. This is a $15 bag of clothes. You have 375 grams. It's a big, big bowl. Big, big bag. Round to you two gingers. Okay, you can come up. Does it smell good? Are you sure? You're in the way. Never work with animals and children. So you're going to open this up and everyone's going to go, wonderful. So this is a huge bag, and I would love you to pop in probably about a cup. Start with a cup. Again, it's going to be personal preference. This is going to last you ages, absolutely ages, and you'll be able to use it for cooking as well if you want to. So we'll mix all that through. I just love them. I'm inclined to put more rather than less. Of course, the other thing that I love to do, if you get a big bag like this at a really good price, it is such an inexpensive present to make the old-fashioned pomanders. One orange, bit of ribbon, or make your own ribbon from fabric. Are you right? You can go now. Shoof, shoof, shoof. Off you go. And it is such an easy thing to do. And you know, we all know how to make a really nice little, you know, a really cute little drawstring bag or something now to put them in. So I just think that would be a brilliant thing to make. You've got plenty of time. Sit in front of the television, get your little satay stick, put all your little holes in your lemon and push in your clothes. Right, so that's going to last heaps and heaps. Then I want you to get really stuck in. And I've done a little bag for you that we are, with all the right food handling and everything, packing off for you. And this is a little bag of extra spices. And these are the ones that are going to make it look really, really nice. So you've got a little bag with 50 grams of cinnamon sticks. Big ones. You've got star anise, so this is going to add the licorice element in. And of course these just look beautiful scattered down a table. I mean, on a wooden board, on a mirror or something on the table. They look beautiful as well. I even used to stick these on really earthy looking Christmas cards. I love star anise. So we're going to pop everything in this bag in. But first of all, grab your cinnamon sticks. Just break them up. Oh, Steve, shall I tell the girls what we said? No, we won't tell the girls what we said. I used to do this as a kid. We used to sit out the back, my cousins and I used to sit out the back of my grandmother's and steal the cinnamon sticks. It's the most inappropriate thing, but we used to sit at the back and pretend we were smoking. The days are gone. And we used to have those lollies. What are they? They were called something really inappropriate, like, were they fags or?
Fad sticks.
Fad sticks. No, Steve, before that they were called something else. Hello, Gillian. Oh, hello, Janine. She's in WA. Hello, Katie. Bev's here as well. Good evening, Deb. Good to see you. Hello, Evelyn, Helen and Gillian. So I'm just doing the mix. Breaking it up. Do you want to see what it's looking like? Here we go. Yum, yum. So I'll just do a couple more. If you want to, you could get away with leaving perhaps a couple of your cinnamon sticks out. And you could actually use them to tie them up in a bag or something if you're giving them away. But this is a nice inexpensive way to buy cinnamon sticks. Now we're going to pop in all of our, I'm going to take out the cardamom pods. I'm going to pop in all of the star anise. Don't have to. You can use some for cooking if you want. Quite a few of these ingredients. Of course, the founding seasoning to make a good big bowl of pho, Vietnamese pho or pho soup. Now, move this. I'm awake now. Smells good. There. See, it is about the smell, but you get a beautiful visual colour to it as well. So, got my scissors here. Grab an old pair of scissors. Take your cardamom pods. This is going to be a little bit of a personal preference with these, but you actually cut them to release the smell. So when I cut these in half, it gets really, really pretty because you can see the cross section inside the cardamom pod. And these, the dry cardamom, as opposed to just buying the seeds dried or whatever for making curries and things, they've got this woody, smoky smell to them, and they just add another aromatic element over the top. So you cut these and put them in. Just do this really, really carefully for me. As I said, you actually can't cut them. I've tried to cut them with a knife and it's quite dangerous because they slip and slide. But if you get a pair of scissors, this one, I'm just going to make a four with me. Oh, there we go. So you just cut some of those and put them in, and again, they're going to just add extra look. The one thing that I don't have any of these mixes that we've popped online, but are easy for you to pick up at the supermarket, are juniper berries. Juniper berries as well go really, really well. So I wasn't able to get any of those in time from the supplier that I found, but they are pretty easy to pick up. So you're going to add all these things in. with your dried cypress, with your dried orange peel. So just thin slivers of orange peel off and pop them in a really slow oven, about 120 until they curl up and they're nice and dry. If you go too hot, of course, it's going to burn. So I might just do one more of these. Hey, Steve,
Yeah.
just come and take this off me and tell me I'm right, because I'm telling everyone what it smells like. Smell this. Smell that. It smells like an open fire. It's indescribable, isn't it? But it's
What is it?
cardamom.
Smells like when you put dead eucalyptus leaves on a fire and you get that eucalyptus smell. in the
Oh,
air.
that's a good description. Dried eucalyptus leaves on a fire. All right, so I'll give you, have one more look at this. So just add some juniper berries into this as well, if you want to. There's enough, there's absolutely enough going on. How's that? It just looks pretty. So, yes, that is right. This evening, for this week only, you can buy spices on Chandler's Cottage. I do kind of, there's that little bit of Martha Stewart in me that goes, ooh, we could have a whole craft and cook show section and sell lots of things in there. Lots of things. So, yeah, you might have enough. You might have enough in your stash that you can just do your own, which would be really, really nice. And just have a little bit of a play. Now, have I tried it with lemon? I think I did a lemon one, and when I did a lemon one, yes, instead of putting in the cypress, I did put in some lemon scented gum that was dried as well, or you could go lemon myrtle. So, yeah. So as I said also, that is really nice mixed up if you want to put it over an oil burner. So if you just put that in the top of your oil burner, I would actually put just some olive oil, or just some, no, probably not olive, something neutral, maybe just a canola oil or something in the bottom, just so it doesn't burn. So a little bit of oil, maybe a little bit of water, just so that it doesn't burn into the top, and this smells really nice. I used to actually put that on the stove at our first house with water and simmer it just to fill the house with a lovely smell. If you are Queensland, if you're in a really humid area, also please source some orris root, which is a natural preservative and humectant. So there's a great company called Herbies in Queensland that you can hop online and find. They'll have juniper berries too, but they sell orris root, so you'd be able to grab it from them, or a health food shop or something, and you'll just toss about a tablespoon per 3 cups of potpourri through, and that will stop it becoming mouldy and absorbing any water if you live somewhere that's got a lot of humidity. A lot of rain, at the moment. It's my leftover pods I haven't done yet, so I'll finish that off later. Okay, so is that a bit different? Oh, yes. The cat, yes, Lynette, the cat. We pay her well in snacks. It was very funny this afternoon. Mum bought down snacks that Mia didn't like, and Ginny turned her nose up at them as well. So Mum's going to write to the company and complain. Ruth, love the bowl. I don't know how old the bowl. I don't know how old the bowl is, but I have 3 of them. I think you can still buy them. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of reproduction ones around that you can actually get. Louise, hello. Were you out playing golf today? It's Thursday. Golf today. I like to know what everyone's doing. Yeah, no smell-o-vision, Pat. Sorry about that, but please have a go at making some of the Indian shop. Yeah, the Indian shops, Sharon, would definitely have a lot of the ingredients. If you're happy to do a little bit of a look around, some of the big, yes, Middle Eastern spice shops will have them. Now, the wall hanging on the wall. Who got an odd? I got an odd emoji. Did I? From Jane? Did you push the wrong button, Jane? I'll check that out. Now you've mentioned it, I'll check it later. So this behind me is called Celtic Christmas Medallion. One of the first quilts I taught. Probably a bit much to take on for the first one. I remember teaching it at Waverley Patchwork. One of the first quilts that I took on to make myself was a Celtic knot quilt. I never finished it, didn't know what I was doing, chose a really bad choice of fabric for the bias. It was too wide. I didn't know what I was doing. But became really fascinated with them, especially after going to Scotland. So, Steve, can I have a bolt of Melba border stripe, please? Thanks. So, any colour, pick a colour, any colour. So this was a lot of fun designing, and I did get it to the point where it's a true Celtic knot because it continuously weaves. Border stripe, please, mate. That's a kaleidoscope.
Oh.
Because it does all weave in and out for the centre. I think there's one that doesn't actually follow. Oh, it's this ring, silly me. So there is a full Celtic knot there, and then that's a project panel. I'll have a border stripe, please.
Oh.
But this one here is a separate piece, but it still does weave. A lot of bias. But there's a border stripe, thanks. So I want to remake it. Of course I want to remake it. But I think one of the things that I didn't realise at the time when I first made it was it's very, very versatile. So, because you only use small tonal prints, so you don't need a feature print. And then it sort of became quite timeless. And I don't know why I did it. I would have been inspired by something to add the splash of blue. So Cass and I have redrawn this. Cass had a few nightmares because there was a couple of glitches with the first pattern with the diagrams. We had only just met, and there was a lot of a learning curve in getting inside each other's brains, and probably she didn't want to pick up my mistakes at the start. So she assumed I'm always right. She knows better now. So we will redo this for next year. But the other reason I was so excited to get it, made me excited to get it out, is that we are doing a Scottish range. What's this we? Me. Doing a Scottish range next year. I will design one, and then all of the magicians will come in and make it happen. So we are going to do a Scottish range next year. And this knot will be the starting point for a Celtic knot print. So actually Steve doesn't realise he's actually done me a big favour in bringing this one in. On you, Steve! Good one! So the Scottish range is going to follow very much the styling and the layout of Melba. And along the way, some of it every now and then might cross over and go together. We don't know yet. That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? So there will be a design that's very similar to this one, with the kaleidoscope effect that we've created here with all of the flowers. Instead will become Celtic knots. So that will be really good fun for us to be able to stack and whack, fussy cut from and play with. So this will be the start of that. And then the border stripe for the Scottish range. Were you all here the day that the strike off arrived for the new colour under the Australian sun, and they had got all mixed up and they'd put reds over teal background instead of pink over teal. Ooh, but it was really good. So that's going to be kept. And then the Scottish range will follow again for the border stripe, something quite similar to Melba, but instead of having the waratahs in here, these are going to become thistles. And there will be heather, and there will be, roses, and there'll be lots of other things going on. So yeah, so there'll be a Scottish range that's stylised like Melba, and then there will be a botanical range that will be styled like under the Australian sun, but that will be English. So instead of kangaroo paws, there'll be foxgloves. So get the feel of it. Instead of paper daisies, there'll be cornflowers. There'll be lots and lots of different things going on. So now you know what I'll be doing all summer. But yeah, Cass has just about got this ready now. I said to her that I would remake this because we don't have these fabrics anymore. But the more I look at it, I think that's just silly. I should just take a new photo, because this is just tonal red, tonal antique gold. We still have this Robert Kaufman Fusions. I don't have a problem sourcing a blue, so I think we might get that pattern done. And it's a lot of fun weaving in and out to do. So I'm glad you like it. if anything's to be learnt by this pattern, it's all about marking up your design onto your background because of the size of it, and you want it to be symmetrical. So when I go back and reread the pattern that I wrote a few years ago, that's the one thing I'll make sure that we've explained really well, is how to accurately draw up your design onto your background so that you do end up with a really nice straight symmetrical Celtic. So that's what I'll do. Yeah, we will see how we go. Oh, Sharon, yeah, Natasha won't just like the new range. She told me to get going, get it made so that she can pop it in. Yes, Lorraine, Scottish thistles on the, just so gorgeous to do the whole base of the thistles, and then the bit that comes out the top is very similar to the top of the flowering gums that I've got. So should be good, should be good. All right, so that's that. Now, I just want to recap on this beautiful thing that happened right at the end of last night's show. Not because anyone is more special than anyone else, but this arrived and I hadn't read the note that came with it from Carmen, and I haven't even spoken to her today or emailed her, so I must do that. In case you missed last night, when we were on the show, at the end, Rob came in and said, hey, there's a parcel on the doorstep. And we all talked about Australia Post and everyone delivering at all different times. Yes, Marie, you can. At all different times, but what had happened was that one of our two fantastic postmasters at our Parkdale post office, where you've been sending all of your decorations to, was on his way home and he dropped this off for us. So I just got the story wrong. He dropped it off to Rob while I was live on the show. So this came from Carmen from West Virginia, and it's just not beautiful. Now, when I read her note, I was a little bit, what on earth, because she sent me beads to make my own as well, and I thought, she's kidding me. But no, because Carmel used to own a bead shop, if you like, or she had a beading business, and so she used to make a lot of decorations and she used to take them and sell them at bead fairs and craft fairs and things. So I just think it's beautiful. So that is the whole story. Yeah, and I don't know how Carmen found us. It may have been through Love and Hugs Facebook page, but she hangs with us, everyone, from West Virginia. And also, you'll see a post on Facebook today that Sue Singer, I put up her photo. She didn't want to part, quite rightly so, with her favourite decoration from California that her mum had knitted for her. So underneath tonight's show, there's a little bit of post with Sue's decoration, her little Santa her mum had knitted her 35 years ago. So that's nice too. Nice to share. We're going to talk about making a little bag to pop our potpourri into tonight. Just want to run through some bag design with you. So we'll do that. But first of all, let's just run through. What did I put on the shelf? These are here because we're talking about the bag. So they're there for that reason. I haven't popped them on the banner, but what you will find on the banner, right, so I have a stash cupboard, okay? It's not like your stash. It's sort of the stash where you keep, what's a good example? I have 10 bolts of a background fabric in there ready for the geisha quilt. I have all the fabric for the geisha. I have all the fabric for other things in there. So it's the big stash cupboard. And I was in there mucking around this morning and I found an extra 4 metres of Merlot under the Australian sun. So remember, we couldn't do any more of the Christmas dish sets, Christmas dish kits, because I only had so much of the Merlot. So I did a quick reckoner. I was very relieved actually, because I wanted to keep some for myself and to send off to my fabric team, because I would like to replicate this colour again. It was such a beautiful thing. So I want them to be able to do that again. So I was very happy to find it with the selvage on it. But it means that we've been able to pop up some kits. Now they're not, I'll be honest, they're not the price they were, because that was a limited edition we did when we launched them. So the kits now, which have everything in them that you need, are $14.95. But remember, you've got your super duper flat rate postage of $2.50 this week for any order that you place. And before, it would have been $9, so it kind of works out the same. In here, you've got your fabrics your instructions and your fabrics, and you've got 24 little template panels that get left inside the dish to keep its structure. Right, so the 2 fabrics are in there. I think I have said before, if you wanted to have a go at cutting some out from cardboard or another plastic before you make it up, no judgment from me. I think that'd be a great idea. But the one thing you've got to watch is accuracy. They've got to be super accurate, and the ones that go on the inside are minusculely smaller than the outside. You've got to keep them separate and then put them together, because there really isn't much room for error in terms of sizing. And the other nice thing with this that we kind of didn't know when we first did them was that once we put it all together, we'd get this beautiful scalloped effect. I didn't realise that was going to happen, and that won't happen as effectively with cardboard, but it does happen with the Perspex. Fun, isn't it? Yes, Lisa was going to get them made with Melba, and it's sitting next door. It's on the list. It's on the list to do it. Good evening, Erica. Good evening, Maria. Good evening, Carolyn. Oh, Kathy's here too. Good. I'm glad you're here. All right. So that's those, and they are up on the website. Now, Judy emailed this afternoon and said, hint, hint, I've put my name down for when the Robert Kaufman Christmas packs are back in stock. And they're back. I think Steve's popped them up just before the show, and if not, they'll be going up straight after. So they're the 8 Fat 8s. They were out of stock momentarily today, so we've put those back up. The other thing that I've popped up tonight, because we've been talking about blue, I've put 3 blue and silvers up. Because you know how we were talking about, do you like blue and silver? Would you prefer that for a change for Christmas? So there's 3 that I've popped up. Well, I don't know that this one's gone up, because there's not much left. What is this? Number 44 Radiance Shimmer from Northcote. Probably he hasn't, because there's about 5 different blue and silvers. So if you go into other coordinates, there is a Northcote Shimmer section, and there's heaps there, but there's about 3 or 4 different blues with the silver. These I have popped up though. There you go. So this is the beautiful Robert Kaufman Regent Fusions in Blueberry, and love this. This is the one that we feature in our Oriental Blue work. That's in the Oriental Blue work. There you go. It's very delicate. It's very lovely. I'll leave that one there, and I'll show you the other one over the top. This one is Sapphire. So very similar colours to Blueberry, but in terms of the background, it's right down to a dark blue underneath. So they do, they add a little element, don't they? Just that little bit, with a little bit of silver through. And when you look at the selvage on these, I always get blown away. You know, I love my selvages. There you go. So can you see down here? Look at all the different blues that are in there. So it's a really, really sophisticated blender. This one is starting to go into a dusky blue, and that's what I really like about these, that there's just so many different shades in there. I'll just, I stopped talking there for a tick because I wanted to see what our silver pack looked like. Oh yeah. So that's that new silver grey essentials pack. You know what, Emma, who has Dutch heritage, is very, the cooking kind of goes into Dutch heritage for Christmas, but in terms of everything else, she is a pure Aussie, and she's just like, don't do snow. She does not do snow because we don't have snow for Christmas. And so I just love teasing her and giving her Christmas cards, with Santa in the snow on window panes. I think that's why she doesn't do blue for Christmas, because it's kind of suggesting it's icy and cold and snow. But I love a good snowflake. Love a good snowflake, because it makes me think about my family in England. I'll just pop those back up. Every time my hands go past my face, I can smell cardamom and cloves and stuff. Right, you've still got, I think we're down to the last bolts that we stashed for this week of those lovely polka dots. So everything that we've popped in on the banner for the Christmas week is still there every day. We just add to it each time. Oh, I promised last night I'd put these on special, which I did, which were the little gift card packs with the lovely folded quilts on them. And I also popped up these last night. So we popped up the Summer Palace fabrics, but I also popped these on special for you as well. These are our Creative Cuts packs. So they do feature some of the Summer Palace fabrics that we were playing with last night, and they've got the patterns for our little bag and the table runner or the bed runner in there as well. So they might make, I think they're down to 25 instead of 32.50. So they make a nice little present for someone that's just taken up quilting as well. So I'll pop that back there. Do you like my minty red? Felicity Bonner strikes again. All right, I think there's 2 missing, so I think there's 2. You know what, Dad spotted it today, Steve spotted it today and laid claim. So, so Kathy, hi, what a wet evening. Oh, Kath, where are you? It's not wet here. No, you're nowhere near us, are you? No, you're not. No, that's right. I love the snow too. Yeah. But look. So, I think there's got to be at least a pack of minties on there. And, you know, there's so many. No one's going to notice that we've actually mixed some. Put that back up there. Okay, so. What else did I want to... There was something else. Before we get stuck into some... This is Felicity Bonner. You're a bad influence on me. An absolute. This, okay, so the kids go on holidays, how many days before, depending on where you are, how many days before actual Christmas are you having to keep little ones occupied? If so, you need a bag of pegs, you need some glue, you need a bit of felt, you need goggly eyes, and you need a black texture and a red texture, and I think that's about it. 3 pegs. Oh, he's got a tail. I hadn't seen that. Thanks, Felicity. I'm going to sit him there. There you go. It's going to sit there for a minute for me. Okay. There are a couple of little things that are tagged that are called perfect partners. Now, when we used to do the live shows in the olden days, from the warehouse, and we did our orders on live comments, which was a lot of fun, very terrifying, very nerve-wracking, a lot of work for everybody, you and me. We started doing perfect partners in fabrics, but I'm going to start doing them right across the website with little different features. And this is just the first one tonight. We had a limited number of beautiful Potpourri thread metallics. So we're mostly doing Metler now because they're a smaller spool. They're more economical for you. You know, you're not having to spend a lot because Potpourri metallics now are, you know, up around the $18, $19 a spool because they're big spools. Whereas we're doing the metallic metlers that are smaller. So, with these though, I wanted to pop them on special as a perfect partner set. So we've just got a limited number of each one, but I have paired them up. So there's a beautiful soft gold, and I have paired it up with a light lemon bottom line. So this is imperative to pop in your bobbin. This goes into the top, and then... You know the rules. Remember we talked about this when we talked about metallic threads. Oh, may have been a banana show on a Saturday. Vertical spool. You want it to be able to wind off because it's springy. You don't want it to get kinks or knots in it when it gets into your machine. Vertical spool, hold it on your machine or on the table, or pop it in a teacup behind your table. Behind your machine on the table, so it can spring off. This is going to go in your bobbin. So the best rule of thumb that I learnt from the University of Threadology at Superior Threads. Non-natural thread on the top, make sure you run non-natural on the bottom, and that's what bottom line is designed for. So these are a perfect partnership. You're going to pair that up with a really good number 90-14 titanium needle or an 80-12, and you're set, absolutely set. So I've done the soft gold with this lovely lemon. As I said, there's not many, but I just thought it's just silly. These are just a perfect opportunity to put together. So I've popped a light mauve in the bottom line together with a beautiful purple metallic. And this one, look at that gorgeous slate blue metallic with a really lovely soft bottom line. So that to me is a fun thing to do, and call it a perfect partner, because then the guesswork's taken out for you and you know which ones to go together. And I will try and do that quite a lot with threads and things in future. Or what's another good example? If we get in, what's a good example? A new fabric, like a new Liberty or a new Michael Miller or something, I will go and find its best coordinate to go with it, or the best thread to go with it, so that you know. I've got a really nice patterned cork coming in. I've bought the Wonderful Pearl threads that will go with it, so we can do little partnerships between things together. Okay, so I'll pop those aside, but they're up there as well. And then, I've popped these up tonight. So our little trinket boxes from Melba. We had a lot of these, and these were for, I think, our winter exhibition that got completely cancelled at Chandler's Cottage. And then part of that was you got one of these when you came in the door as part of your ticket. I don't need to tell you, therefore, we had quite a few that were left. So we have done little specials and offers on these along the way, but we have substantially marked these down on the website for this week for Christmas. Right? So they're there as well for you. And well, I'm glad. Well, then, Kathy, you need to watch, because I do repeat myself a lot. But you know, a good lesson's worth a good tip is worth telling more than once. That's it's my philosophy. You never know who's watching, do you? Also, just pop this up tonight because we're going to talk about making little purses, and I just wanted a little reminder that we've got some beautiful jacquard silk, which makes for really, really flash lining. And if you are making something for a gentleman, I just think that's a little bit classy to put inside perhaps a laptop bag or a toiletry bag or a glasses case. It would be really nice. So that's up too. I'll leave those over there with my reindeer. Okay, now I wanted to make something tonight just for fun that is also going to be something that you could whip up to pop your potpourri in. The whole room now. And it's sort of then it gives me a good excuse to talk about handbag design again with curved bases, which we've touched on YouTube on a Craft and Cook. But I'm having so much fun with the ruler that I couldn't resist. So this is straightforward, classic little drawstring bag. Just, you know, how basic's that? But the fun bit is the base, which has not been ironed really well yet for the show. In fact, the second one will be. Alright, so to make this base, or a little marquee cut diamond base, it looks really complicated, but it's actually really easy to do. So we're going to do that now. And you'll need a plate, maybe something a bit bigger than a dinner plate if you want to get this shape about that big, but you can work with anything. So you want a big curve. So pull out we used the platters last night, pull out a platter, a finger food platter that you're going to use for Christmas. And I'll just work out because that's flickering a bit, so we'll use this one. Now, these were the ones that we had out last night that are tagged, so these are our roundup tools that have been brought to you by Creative Grids with their own little, as I said, I have QR Envy. You can actually hold your phone over that and on camera, and it'll give you the little demo. How cool is that? Alright, so on these you can see you've got two different sized curves. You've got one here that's got a 4-inch radius, and then I've got a larger one down the bottom that's got a 5. So I'm actually going to use this to draw around to create the base on my bag. Again, it's not what they designed it for, but it works. So we're going to do that tonight. Now fabrics, I have, this one's got Liberty, as you can see, with a lovely sage green linen. And then on the inside, I've gone for the yellow. So that's a really, really pretty print. Very, very English cottage garden. I haven't done anything on my linen, but you can just see it is begging for some little embroidered stitchery flowers or some little paper pieces, little row of hexagons along here. Fussy cut from the print would be just lovely. And then I'm going to want to be able to pick up my Potpourri and put it in here to give someone for Christmas. So I've kept it really light so that the bag will breathe and the smell will come through. So I haven't used a thick lining. In fact, all I've done is put some whisper weft in, or some adhesive weft woven stabilizer inside so that it's quite porous. And I've made up little starter kits for you. So they've got fat 8s of both the Liberties in there with the weft ready to go, with the linen and some cord. And I'm going to pop in there just some little short design notes in the morning before we start sending them out, just on the measurements to use for the bag sides, or just some little tips. Design step tips is probably what it's going to be with what I'm going to show you now. So that's one. So that one makes up this one. And again, you'll have plenty of Liberty left over if you want to do some paper piecing to go on the base. These little kits are $12.50. So based on the price of Liberty and the linen and the weft and everything, that's what it works out to. Now the one that I want to use tonight is, that camera keeps flicking at me. We're going to pull it all down, Rob, and start again. I'm going to use the leaves for the outside of my bag with a little bit of black linen. And then Rob kindly picked out, which was a great match, the gold flowering gum, because it's got the little bit of leaf in it. And then I've got my whisper weft here ready, and with this one I've got black cord to go with it. Alright, so what I want to do to get started is actually get my base cut. So why am I doing that? Let's pull this out here. I want to get my base cut. So I'm going to use my linen for this bag just to do the base and also to do the sleeve, this sleeve here at the top. But if I wanted to, I've got enough to actually piece these two together the way that I did this one. And if you want to write it down, I've actually got 8-inch high sides. So I've cut these 8 all together. So these are sort of cut at about 3.5 and 4.5. What are you two looking at?
Why are you pulling it down?
No, not right now. I'm not pulling it down now. I meant we're going to pull that down and start over again.
Is it still flickering?
Yeah, it's still flickering. And my phone's still flickering. And my laptop's still flickering. Everything's flickering down this end of the house. Are you two all right up the other end of the house? I would know if I had a problem because these lovely people would tell me.
And these lovely people,
yes,
if they're currently frantically looking on the website for the cream and gold fans, I couldn't find a bolt in our lovely warehouse, so
we're out.
Yeah.
What happened to the bolt that we had from last night's show?
Gone.
Oh.
So there may be 1 or 2 people that we may have accidentally oversold because there was an imaginary
I will
bolt
talk to
sitting
those
somewhere.
poor people. It's not in my office, is it? Sorry, we're just talking amongst ourselves. So what Steve's saying is our stock level told us that we had cream and gold fans here. And we don't. Which then means I've hidden a bolt somewhere they don't know about. Just talk about that. It's just all go here, isn't it? Alright, so this actual side, eight high. So just piece 2 bits together that are going to pretty much give you that. So for me, I've used 3.5 and 4.5. We'll put a 4 and a 4.5 together. That'll allow for a bit of seam allowance. It's really up to you. Height-wise, you can make it shorter, you can make it fatter, longer, whatever you want to do. That's fine. But I want my base out of my black because I want it to have a little bit more oomph to it. That explains why I thought that my son had left without saying goodnight, which is very rude, whether I'm live on Facebook or not. But it turns out he'd done a mad dash to our warehouse. Right, see the shape? It's gripping, so I can just go round. And Again, if you don't have one of these, or you don't want to invest one of these cool things that we're going to start using for drunkard's paths and all sorts of things, you don't have to. You can just draw it up with a plate from the cupboard. It's one side, and then I'll just pop it on here. Again, I'm using my big rotary cutter. If you're a little bit worried about your coordination or worried about a finger, or you don't feel you've got the strength to do it, get someone to buy you for Christmas one of the little teeny weeny ones we've got, the clover ones with the little tiny blade in them, and that smaller blade, it's easier to get around the corners. Now that I've got this, I just want to pop it onto a little bit of whisper weft. So I'll chop a bit of this ready to take to the ironing board in a tick. Probably would have been easier, wouldn't it, to just iron a rectangle first and then, oh, never mind. You know what, let's do it this way. Because this it just doesn't move, you can actually do this with this template. Look at that. That is good. I suppose it's just, it's almost like a stubbornness sometimes with me that I go, nope, don't need one, nope, I've got plenty of rulers, and finally one of my influential bossy friends talks me into it. Why didn't I have one of those? Right, so that's that bit. Now I have worked out that I need 7.5-inch sides for my bag, and I worked that out earlier today. Okay, so you don't have to do that if you don't want to. What you can actually do is just make sure that you cut 2 panels for each side of your purse generously big enough, because the way that we're going to piece them together, it's not going to matter if you've got little bits left over on the edge. So what I'm saying is if you've got this without the template, just roughly measure around here with a bit of string or something. You know, so go, oh, okay, probably, oh, sorry girls, let's go up here. Probably about, yeah, about that. You know, anything you can lay your hands on, yeah, about that. And then measure it and go, oh, okay, that's 10. Well, it's big, isn't it? Let's come down. What's that? There you go. So that's about 8. And I know that I ended up at about 7.5, but I'll cut them 8. So this way is going to be the width of my panels. This one. Emma and I were talking about bag designs again the other day. We head back that way when we get new bag furniture or new fabrics in, or new bag batting or something. And she said, bring back the classic pocket tote. I said, no, it was a bag design. She said, no, it wasn't, because we had challenges a few years ago that we don't have now, because now we've got cool things like rubber foam batting, and you know, some of the bags we used to design, they just needed a lot of structure for them to look really good, and we just didn't have what we have available now. Or we didn't know about it. I never thought to use things like weft for bag making and embroidery and things. So now we've got lots of different things to play with. I'm just going to cut some backing for these as well. Remember, I don't want to go full on bag batting with these. They're too small, and if I wasn't using them for Potpourri, I would probably make it more structured and thicker and use a 640 iron-on Pellin. But I want to keep these nice and soft. I'll just turn that way and trim this off. Cleaned up my studio this morning and yesterday. Now you can see the floor. I know you can all relate to that. Don't make out you can't. Like, the floor's clean. I don't have to step over things to get anywhere. Alright, so they are going to be my outer bag panels. So before I iron and before I get really set up with this, I'll come back to my black and I want to actually cut 2 pieces that will be the sleeves that go along the top. I know a lot of you know how to do this, but I'm just going to get this done. I've got quite thin cord, so it's a bit wobbly. Now where did I put my, see, this is where I need my creative grids ruler. Never mind, I'll just run up there carefully, Lisa. Down to 3/4, and that gives me a half. That's fine. You've always got to do your maths, don't you? Got to think about it. And I suppose the one thing with drawstring bags that I always used to get wrong was I would not leave it thick enough to get 2 pieces of cord to go through when they go past each other. Now, these are actually, they're at 8 at the moment. I'm going to leave this and come back to it because I have a feeling these sides are going to come down a little bit. The main thing is when we come back and do these sleeves is that I leave an extra inch, not an extra ½ inch. Just take that seam allowance off there, ready for later. Because I like to fold over my seam allowance twice on the edges. I know I'm telling you all how to make a drawstring bag and that's just ridiculous. Shall we cut these while we're here and then we can just go. No, I won't do that. Leave that. I know you're going to know how to do that. Right, ironing board. Yeah, we all know the iron's on because it's leaked at least 3 times. So I'll just adhere this on. Yes, so cypress. To dry your cypress. Mine just sat on a tray in the kitchen. If you feel that you're running out of time, you can do it in a really, really slow oven, but go really slow because what you want to happen is for all the moisture to come out, but all of the residual cypress resin aromatics to stay in the foliage so that you get the smell. And the reason that Emma wanted to be here for the potpourri was that coincidentally most of the things that are in the potpourri are some of the very, very traditional and popular aromatics that they use in gin. So if you go to a gin distillery and they have all of the things on display, there'll be cinnamon and orange and juniper berries and cloves and star anise and a few other bits and pieces. And so we really should call it gin potpourri, but I don't know, you can call it what you like. I like to just call it my Christmas one. And I've done those 2. Oh, I need to do my base as well. Pop this on. Hola.
Hello.
You off?
Yeah.
Alright. Any news for the girls? Anything they need to know? No? Be mindful left today?
Yeah, everyone's been mindful.
Everyone's been mindful. Kits left today for month 2. On time this time. Appliques start going out tomorrow, don't they?
They sure do.
They do. Alright, and you've got everyone's Santa sacks filling up out there?
Yep, so everyone's Santa's sack has been filled from about, unless you've ordered after about 2 p.m. today.
Okay. Well, there is.
I have started, but there is a couple we need to contact.
Oh yes, we do. I will win them over, Stephen. If they didn't get their fans, I will make it up to them. All right, I promise. Promise, boss.
Do you have your perfect partners there?
I do.
Right.
Yes, I've shown the ladies the perfect partners. All right. Safe drive home.
Will do.
All right, handsome. See you in the morning. Oh, you're taking your car in, yes?
Yeah, like 10 a.m. you reckon?
Yeah, that sounds fine. All right. Bye, Stevie.
Ciao.
Okay. So now the big question is how this has got to fit round here. I'm going to show you. my little cheater thing that I did to work it out, because I had this template. I could actually put the center, see it's actually marked right down through the center of the orange peel, or whatever shape you want to call this here, and I could put that on the center of my panel. So 14, 10, 8, 14 in the middle. So I put that there, and I rolled it out to the side and out to the side, and I could see that I needed 8 inches. So if I turned it round and did the other side, which has the smaller one, I can see goes a 1/4 inch over there. I need 6.5 if I did the smaller one. So that was just the little cheater thing that I could do because I've got this template. The other thing that I want to do with this as well is use it to make a bag or a purse, whereas this is the base, so it's got a whole curved side. So that would actually be the center of my base, and it's going to come up this way, and we're going to pop a zip along the top. So I'm going to use it for that as well. Again, someday I'll use it for what they designed it for. Alright, now we need to get this pinned. So we'll start in the center. If you use a bigger plate, you're going to have a narrower and longer base. If you use, what's a good example? Oh, that wooden bowl that I've got, that's a good example. If you came down to something smaller, so a saucer, you're going to get a smaller one. You can make really cute little ones for jewellery purses or anything like that. I'm going to sit that there because then I can tell from my board that's the centre. Pop that in there, turn it over. So we'll match up those pins. You do not need to work out the measurements if you don't want to. As I said, just make sure that the base is generously, there's a generous width on the panels, so that you know you've got enough. And I'm just easing it round slowly and popping my pins in. One thing I know is on Steve's list for tomorrow, and I said it to him probably just before we went live, but tomorrow we have got to get cork up on the website, and I just thought of it again then because I'd love to see a little bag like this made with cork for the base, and maybe a little bit up the sides. And I've kept my sides straight, okay, because I've got the drawstring thing happening at the top. But of course, you don't have to use this technique for what we're doing tonight. You could use it for an actual handbag, and there's no reason why the sides can't taper outwards. Now you can see it's deceiving, isn't it? I thought that was going to be 8 and I left enough, but you can actually see at each end I've got a little 1/4 inch left over. That's fine because we can trim that off. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to take it off now just so it's just easier to do it when I just got it pinned. If you've got one, you know, if you're making the first one, you'll go, okay, I'll remember that for next time. I only need a 1/4. That, it's not designed for a lefty like me, that little trim. So I'll just take that little bit off there. Okay. There you are. So, as I just said, before I pop the other side on, if you wanted to, you could taper out, and then, you know, you'd have a handbag you can actually pop handles on at the top. But we're going to sew this bit on first, and then we'll put on the other side. So I suppose the best thing, or the most important thing that I wanted to point out with this is, when someone looks at that base, they go, whoa, that must have been really hard work to set that base in, get up to the points and things. If you put it in like this, each side, and then run up the sides, it's super easy. It's super, super easy to do. Right, so I'm going to just pop together the outside of this one, because then it's really easy to explain to you what happens with the rest. I'm always scared of boring you to tears. Right. Here's a sewing machine. that I prepared earlier. Pop that around there. You can just see, oh, I didn't really play with this well tonight. Pop that there. No, not going to get it in shot. That way, Lisa. That's better. It's going the wrong way. Okay. Now, we will, cotton. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I will take the walking foot off from last night, though. We're talking about walking feet again today. I don't know why we keep talking about walking feet with people. We're talking about dual feet again today. Just that whole thing that just become a thing now that I talk about. A walking foot is not a dual feed machine. It's not a walking foot. You know that, don't you? If you don't, email me and I'll explain why. Because the walking foot does this, whereas dual feed only pulls it along from underneath. So a walking foot's still really important, even with a dual feed machine, if you're quilting. But I've lectured you unnecessarily, I'm sure. Hey, foot. I popped that up there so I didn't lose it. Alright. I'd love one of these bags with that silk inside. What have we got going on here? We should clear that. Oh, yes, that's better. Alright, so we need to start not right out at the raw edges, come in and just start at the 1/4 inch point, because you need that seam allowance open for when you sew up the sides. So I'll go in and just start in just a 1/4 inch in. If you're not working to a precise pattern, if you are making it up as you go like I am, then if you know, it doesn't matter if it's a 1/4 inch foot or your number 1 foot, as long as you use the same foot for the piecing. Good. So we'll take that out. Then we need the other side. Little bags like this I think would be lovely to pop presents in for Christmas. Perhaps something like, I don't know, a little teapot or a nice mug, and there are no rules. There's just opportunity, and you just need some time and a little bit of and a notepad to write it all down and have a look through your stash. One of the most lovely presents that I have been given when I was out teaching was a little. It was just a flat bag, you know, with the darted out corners, and they had popped in there a mug for me. And on the outside of the bag, it had a little pocket on one side with my tea bags in it. And it had room for my membership card, and they made me an honorary member of their guild on the other side. Do you know, that bag has been used to death, and it's just the simplest little bag. I love it because it was made for me, and it's a nice memory from a great weekend. But just nice. Really, really nice. And this base shape is really unusual, so it's going to have the appearance of just a straight, I don't know what I'm trying to say, straight flat drawstring bag, but it's actually got this lovely shaped gusset in the base that's going to help it stand up. I did see on Instagram the other day, I think it was on it's on one of the many Japanese studio pop-up shop pages that I follow. They had made little bags like this with the drawstring tops. I think they may have had a square base or a round base when I think about it. And they had little vases sitting inside them with some really funky flowers. And I just went, how cool's that? Okay, one more pin. Then I'll just whiz around this side. Someone had a pink fit. I love the way you all don't say anything during the show, and then you, yeah, see, Fiona's just written it. I'd be scared about breaking needles, leaving them in. You're talking about the pins? Yep. I know you were going to say that, because people don't say anything, Fiona, during the show, and then I get these little emails. How come you left the pins in? I only did this because they're too scared to ask the question during the show. These are the clover piecing pins. They're super fine and they're super flexible, so if your needle does go near one, it just slips past. It just slips past. So you can leave them in. Alright, now, I'm sure if I was sitting down, ladies, I would have done a much better job of that corner. But you've brought both of the corners, both the sides up to the same point. And now you just need to hold it together, and you're going to be able to sew all the way straight up the side. That's so funny, Fiona. I just thought that. There's your question right there. Yes, we do. There are clover pins and applique pins in the happy section. They're also glass tops, so you can hit them with the iron. There's actually two different ones. Besides of the blue and yellow ones I'm using, but there's some other gorgeous ones. I'll show you tomorrow night. They've got a clear glass top and they're longer. Hey, I missed the button. Go backwards, go backwards. Thank you. They are longer and they're even more flexible, so they're really good for hand piecing. Alright. I think I use them, I would say they're good for dressmaking too. And then you'll also find they're our little short applique pins that a lot of the applique sampler girls have grabbed, because they're up to doing needle turn on really small pieces now. So it's nice to have the little ones when you get down to really fine work, which they all are. Okay, there we go. Right, now pop you back here with me. I'll just turn this off. You know how when I said, oh, when we get the bigger table, I'll be able to... Still don't have enough room. Terrible, still don't have enough. Okay, so that's what we look like. That's what our base looks like. So we've sewn out to each corner at the point, and we've sewn up the sides. So see what I mean? If you wanted to, you could actually have this bigger from a larger plate. You have a larger bit that comes out here. You'd be able to taper up into a beautiful big bag, and then you'd have quite a substantial base that's on there. So I'm going to turn this through. Now, I've done this with speed so that I can show you, but what I would really strongly recommend that once you've sewn on one side, give that curved seam a press and then pop the other one on. Ever so carefully, clip into those points if you really, really want a super solid fine point. I'm not that fussed on these because we're going to be using them for Potpourri. So that's how you get that super duper shaped base, right? And then that would all get a really nice press to finish off the outside of the bag, you know, up one of our little sleeves that we've got. Sleeve ironing boards that you can pick up. One of these is really good. A rolled up towel inside is really good, so I can actually pop this on here and give it a good press and gets, you know, the bumps and the lumps out really easily. With this sleeve though, let's go back, just have a quick look. So that's, yeah, so finished off for me now, that's about 7 inches across here. So I want my, probably about 6.5, my little sleeves that are going to go in. They don't have to go all the way out to the edge. So maybe if I cut at about, if I went 7 finish, I'd add an extra inch. I'll bring it back a bit, just have a little bit of a play. I'll cut these at about 6.5. You can have a good play around. Out there. Then I just want to do this to show you. I would iron in over twice the seam allowance. Oops. So just a reminder too, tomorrow night we're going to do little pinwheel points. I've got a few things that I want to show you, of course, tomorrow night. And we'll also be having a look at those cool Santas that Maggie made that we showed you at the start of the week. Bit of a facial. Alright, so once I've got those to the size that I want, I'm going to turn my bag back. I didn't measure that right. Whatever I did, I didn't measure it right, did I? Because they're way too short. I sort of want them finished 7, so I should have cut it about 7.5. But you'll get the gist, don't you? You're going to turn this out the wrong way, and then you will pin your sleeve in here. Then you're going to make this whole bag again for your lining. But when you make your lining, you won't need to add any stabilizer onto the outside. And of course, the other important thing to do is leave yourself an opening on the side that you're going to be able to turn the whole bag through. You don't want it down here on this curve. It's much harder to get that curve looking nice afterwards if you do it that way. So I would definitely do an opening on the side, and I'll show you the other one I've done. So you're going to pop 2 sleeves, 1 each side, and then you're going to make another piece that's your lining, and then your lining's going to sit inside here, right sides together. And then you'll be able to sew right around the top of your bag and then turn it through on the lining, okay? So if I come back to this one, let's get this out of the way. Julie, you babysitting tonight? Let the little tackers to bed. Okay, so you can see back here, that's my lining piece that's gone in, and it was sewn in with that sleeve, turned it through, and now that sleeve sits up. And you can see that's my opening there in the lining. So now I can just close that up, but the whole bag was turned through here in the side. I'll take this back. For your cord, I've popped in the little starter kits for this. The cord is a good, very generous metre long, so you'll be able to take your cord and cut it into 2 pieces. And just pop a little knot in the end. And then you will use a safety pin, whatever you want to. I just use a safety pin. And then I'll hook the safety pin up into my knot. Then you'll take one, you'll thread it through here, all the way along, round, down through the other sleeve, and you'll bring it back out the same side and knot those together. Then you do the same from this side. So you'll go in from this side, and you'll go all the way around, back into the other sleeve and out here, and tie it as well. And that's what gives you your lovely completed circle, so that you can drawstring your bag up. I don't know why, but this, maybe it's because I've been looking at all this Instagram stuff from Japan. It looks very Japanese, even though it's Liberty fabric. It looks a bit Japanese. Okay. Did I bring something in to, no I didn't, to put my Potpourri into Yeah. No. It's just to show you. Okay, so now sit this in here. When you come to pack off your potpourri, if you've got 3 or 4 containers that it's going into, or bags, do them all at the same time and even it up at the same time, because there's lots of different things going on in your potpourri. You've got big chunks, and then you've got fine, you've got the smaller cloves, and you've got the fine mixed spice powder. So you'll want to make sure you get a really good mix of everything. So I would start and pack off, you know, big chunks of the big stuff in a row of different containers, and then work my way evenly to the bottom of the bowl. So I knew that everyone had a good mix of everything. This one's for me, so you know, load it up, okay? And then I can pull that up. And then the nice thing is that once that's done, it's got a bit of weight to it. And you can just see that shape's really, really good because it just sits. And I think that is just a really old-fashioned, lovely present. And I would be very happy to get one of those. And I've got my own now because I've made one up to show you. The other thing that grieves, of course, to let the smell of lovely scents come through with potpourri is if you've got some silks, if you've got raw silk sitting in your stash, if you've got a silk and maybe some old pieces of lace that you can overlay over the silk. If you really want to go the whole shabby chic look and make one up for people with old doilies and cross-stitch tablecloths and all those sorts of things to get that really shabby chic look. Or you can go the whole other way. I'll get the cork up tomorrow. You could have cork around here with the fabric at the top. Sashiko stitching, obviously. Oh, we've got, that reminds me, I was going to do perfect partners with the variegated sashiko threads that we've got, so I must do that tomorrow too. So that's that little guy made up. I've got mine. Alright, now I'll get Rob to come back down. I think he's up the other end, and we'll have a quick look. Well, not a quick look, we'll have a good look through Christmas decorations. I'll just put this over here. So there's a couple that are, I think I've mostly got, they're all from 3 people tonight, so I've got people that sent in multiples, and they're just gorgeous, and that will happen again tomorrow night and Saturday. We've got lots more. I sort of tried to stagger them, but at the same time I could end up with a heap on Saturday. So I'll just move my drink out of the way. Alright, so where will we go first? Oh, let's go to Kathy Lynch. You're on the tree, Kath. Alright, so these two, actually, well, can I give you one large pudding bowl of potpourri to take out, because I want to get in close to the camera. Everything out of the way, because we don't want mess when we're showing you things. We want it to look at least a little bit. Oh, there's stuff everywhere. It's because there's bits of mixed spice and stuff now on the table. Right. Present. Thank you. Because if I do that, of course, I was cutting black linen as well. Oh no, that doesn't. How come I haven't got an overhead that looks any good with light now? What happened there? We live and learn, don't we? That's bizarre. I should see the look on his face. Right. There you go. Are they not just beautiful? So these are Kathy's, and they are little individual stockings, and they're very, very cute, and they have got beautifully embroidered words over a little bit of cross-stitch ribbon on the top. You know, your shadowing and little bells. Aren't they beautiful? I'm just turning over to the other side. Love the fabric. That's just gorgeous. Right, so that's one of Kat's. Pop that one down there. And this is the other one. Now, I'm sure at some stage someone attempted to teach me how to do that and I failed dismally. That is beautiful. And the ribbon that Kathy's chosen is a tartan ribbon. So it's just come up so nicely. They're just beautiful, Kathy. Thank you so much. That's so you use an egg-shaped polystyrene under there, don't you? Yeah, I think you do. That is just beautiful. So thank you so much for sending them down for us to show everyone. They're stunning. I do like it. Rob, can you make me some of these? That'll be a no. I'm popping. It's very important. I mean, I know they're Kathy's, but at the end of the week, when I have to pack everyone's things up, I really, really like to know for sure whose everyone's is, because I've got to get it right. Pop them back on there. Now, I have here notes for the other ones that I've got here tonight. So, Jeanette Warner says, from Warrnambool, this is Jeanette Warner from Warrnambool, emailed me, sent me a message saying, I've sent you decorations, don't show them, they're not good enough, or something to that effect, if they're not good enough. I don't know why she said that, because they're absolutely beautiful. I don't understand why you think they're not good enough. Look, who doesn't think that's typical? That is one seriously gorgeous star. Beautifully pieced, and may I say, expertly stuffed. Just, it is perky, it's gorgeous. I've got a rebel reindeer here from Felicity and Roy. Here you go. Look, look. Beautifully made. Honestly, Jeanette, it's just sensational. So thank you very, very much as well for sending them down. Look, look, look. Now stay there. I'll get one of her other ones close up and personal. Ta-da. Just gorgeous. And, you know, beautifully executed and cut from a lovely fabric. That, if I'm not wrong, that is another one of those beautiful antique William Morris Christmas fabrics. It's got the cardinal birds on it as well, like the ones that were in Mum's pin-tuck Christmas tree that I had up yesterday. Richie very cunningly made sure went straight home again to hang up for Christmas when she was here today. But that is just beautiful. Love it. Now this one, kind of the same technique, but a different shape. And again, she's fussy cut the cardinal birds so that they sit in one of the panels. There you go. Look at that. Lovely. Love it. Again, rogue reindeer over there. Just keeps appearing. And I love the way everyone just finds the most gorgeous little, these are buttons on the top. And you've got lovely beads and bobs on the end. So we'll pop them safely back on the tree. And then, now remember we had Mel's earlier in the week and we're doing these tomorrow night. This is a jumbo version. I sort of want to call it a whirligig or a prairie point wheel, or I'm not sure. But it's beautiful and bright in peppermint candy colours for Christmas. Lovely. Honestly, Fiona, I know you wish you could smell the potpourri, but it's so strong in here at the moment, in this small room, that you should be able to smell it at your place by now. Yes, Elizabeth. Oh, hi, Elizabeth. Yes, Elizabeth Mary, they are lovely. Lovely, lovely decorations. As I said, it's a bit rough. Rob, are you coming back? He's disappeared on me. I wanted him to pass me the beaded ones. Now, I've got a collection of just amazing beaded decorations here from my my good friend Jenny Peach. So I've just got to get them all down for you. Oh, Jeanette, I missed one of yours. I'm so sorry. It's a Suffolk puff one. I'll bring him back. Right. I want, these are so small and delicate. I've got to go straight to the close-up camera. Where did you go? You're on decoration duty. Look at that. Just wait for the camera to look. Look at that. I don't know how long it took Jenny to... Hang on. Ha! I can smell Jenny's perfume though. Jen, they smell like your perfume. That's so funny. See, this one sits in a ring. How clever is that? What'd you say, Felicity? It reminds me of the Oprah House. I don't know what the Oprah House is. Does Oprah do a Christmas special? That's amazing. Can you pull the other bead ones down for me? Tough. Now, this stocking is so 3D, and I think I saw these done. I was with the girls maybe up at Kerrang or something, and they are big enough to stick a roll of Lifesavers down. That's one thing I do remember. I remember seeing people doing them and me just shaking my head and, oh, Opera House. Thanks. Did I say Oprah? You did Opera House. Okay, now I've got you. Look, see, you can stick your lollies down there. Right down there.
Lippy.
Lippy. Oh, lipstick. Thank you, Robert. That was very snag of you. It's insane, isn't it? Amazing. Look at that one. It's the ball. I don't get it. I think it's knitted and it goes up around the ball. We will get the goss from Jenny, and I'm sure half of you know how to do this. Is that correct? Because I have, yeah, they would have taken ages to do flick. I have seen girls knit the little purses. I have seen that before. And I would have to assume it's a little star on the bottom. It's another one. So it looks like a Christmas ball. Are they all of Jen's down? Yep. And I love this one. Mum tried to nick off with this one, just so you know. You know, sort of just kind of looked at it and kept walking with it. That's it, oi, back on the tree. It's got a little bit down the bottom. They're just gorgeous. This gets sort of sad in the middle because we take them down and take them away and the tree looks really sad, and then we fill it up with new ones again. Beautiful. So Jenny, also when you're watching, thank you so much for sending them over for us. Jen's in Melbourne, but she still parted with them and sent them over for us. So we will get them, all of these, safely back to their owners with a present from all the Chandlers after we finish up on Saturday. Can I carefully pass them to you? You walk off with them. They're heavy, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, what did I say? So, sorry, Jeanette said, all these decorations I have made in the past, working in aged care, I haven't had time to make new ones. If these don't meet the guidelines, there's no guidelines. Handmade them. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. So, that was it. And I just want to read. Oh, Jenny had lots of notes. So she purchased a pattern with 6 different designs. I should have done this while we had it. There was an Olaf kit ball. There were beading balls with kits purchased from Poly Beads. Oh, I remember the girls from Poly Beads at the shows. Are they still around? I don't know if they are still around. All right, we had a hello Jonathan. They had one. They had a stand opposite us at the Sydney show once, and we just stood there and looked in amazement the whole week. John, yes, it is gorgeous, darling, and it's going, well, it's not gorgeous. I'm glad you think it's sublime. Pattern coming very soon. Stocking was purchased, so she purchased that one, purple bead purchase. So she has, oh, that's Jenny's, it's not Jeanette's, my bad. My bad. I have done the big faux pas, Jen. Sorry. This one is yours. Now, this was machine embroidered on wash away. Oh, that is really, really cool. Love it. Absolutely love it. 3 Suffolk puffs all joined together. You've missed one on the tree. There is a white bell here somewhere. It's white on a white tree.
No.
I will find, it's on there somewhere, so I will find it. And I've got it.
Ginny?
No, it's not Ginny, it's here. This one was done on the machine. This one. Look at that. So this was just in a different spot, Rob, because I had to just pop a string on it to hang on the tree. We're going to get into this. After those ones I showed you of Marilyn and things, we're going to get into this. All right, can you pop that one with Jen's and that one that we gave Jeanette credit for? I know who they all belong to. I won't get them all mixed up. My bad. All right, so just to recap, thank you for joining me. Found more fabric, so there's more of these up, and you can also buy just the kit with all of the little panels on them on their own. I put the gift cards on special that I promised last night. These are up. These are up still. That will come soon. But, you know, it's no point in giving you a Christmas pattern now that's this much work. The tree that we did yesterday, no problems. You can get that whipped up in a weekend for Christmas easy. This is going to take just a little bit longer, and we might do a little bit of a tutorial on it. We're going to eat the minties off Felicity's wreath. For sure. And you've got extra little specials up, like the little trinket boxes and things that we put up. Robert's got his hand up. Yes, Robert?
Stephen wants you to remind people about the cut-off for shipping.
Oh, cut-off for shipping. All right, so here's the scoop. Our last show is at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. We could give you a really late cut-off for all of the Christmas specials from this week to fill your Santa stacks. But no, because Steve heads off bush again on Tuesday, has to leave here and get his COVID test by about lunchtime Sunday, so he's cleared to go away with the university. That shouldn't impact on us. It does. So the cut-off is 6 p.m. Saturday night. So if you're building up things in your shopping cart, that's absolutely fine. But please finish it off by 6 p.m. because at 6 p.m. he's going to be a meanie and he's going to put all the shipping back to normal. It won't be $2.50. It will just go back to normal. So please do that. And a few of you have actually said, I can't get the cart to keep my things. I think you have to stay logged in with an account for it to do that. And he is going to work on a new feature for the website tomorrow for adding in a wish list, which will then stay there. But in the meantime, just write it down, keep it, print it out so you can pop it back in. Or if you just want to worry about it, it's $2.50 postage per order. Is that good enough, Rob? You happy with that? So we're going to finish them all off. We're all going to be in here late playing Santa until late on Saturday night to get them all out so they're gone on Monday morning for you. So, and it's looking a lot like Christmas out there now because there's all these lovely little bags of people's things that they've been buying that we're stashing together. Do you still have the clipboard? No, Diane, I'm sorry. Clipboards are all gone. Gone. But not forgotten. I wish that I got more, but you know, you just don't know these things when you get them. Lisa, sorry, if you do, yes, if you order any of our kits, Kristen, besides this little guide that I did tonight, and even that I'll put some little guidelines in, you always get the pattern with it. Yes, you do. And Karen Carter from Kuala Lumpur says, you're all very talented ladies in Australia. Karen, you're an Aussie as well. You're just not on shore at the moment, mate. But yes, we have some very, very talented ladies. Sharon, if you have a bead kit that you haven't finished, you need to finish it, please. And then bring it to me and I will show it to everybody. So that'll be fine. Pat said something about gin earlier. I missed it. I will go back and read what she said. Yes, Diane, absolutely. Absolutely now. Online only. Oh, okay. So you're all talking. That's good. Jonathan, I will organise that quilt on the wall behind me for you as soon as possible.
Christmas is coming.
He loves a good Christmas. He's a Christmas man. I know he loves Christmas. So Fiona, what happens is if you order, when your order comes through, it technically gets filled. It's done. It goes into your box at $2.50 postage. If you order again, you order it all, you pay another $2.50, it goes into the box. I've got girls that have, there are some of you have ordered already 3-4 times, so you're at $7.50 or $10, but I can see that what you've ordered already would have been $15 to $20 postage. So you're going to be really hard pressed to outdo yourself on postage, but in placing the order you're guaranteeing that you're getting everything, because it doesn't actually go through and save it for you unless you've ordered. We can't see what's in your cart. You could have nothing in your cart and you could have heaps in your cart. I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me this evening, and I will see you tomorrow night at 7:30 again, and we'll have a lot more fun and make some of those Christmas decorations tomorrow night, and hopefully there'll be some other things to show you if I get my skates on in the morning. Alright, so enjoy the rest of your evening or your day if you're in the UK, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye bye.